Drives my wife crazy when I'm driving down the road now.
All right, everyone, it's 7 o'clock.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and get started. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you for showing up for today's Planning Commission meeting. We will start off with public comments. So the public comments will be, you can talk, you have a 5-minute limit per person talking. You can talk about anything that's not pertaining to the public hearing. So I will open up the floor to the public. Anybody has anything they want to share? All right. Not hearing none. So we'll move on to the approval of the Planning Commission meeting, Planning Commission minutes for February 2nd. Do anybody has any questions or comments or input about the meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve?
I can second.
All right, we're ready for roll call.
Commissioner Curtis? He's not here. Commissioner Day?
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson?
Aye.
Commissioner Lyman?
Aye.
Commissioner Scary?
Aye.
Commissioner Sowers?
Aye.
Vice Chairperson Clark?
Aye. All right, so item 3 is complete, so we'll move on to the public hearing. 4.A, the rezoning request by LZM BAM LLC, applicant and property owner for an amendment to proffers on property located at 2886 Roanoke Street, identified as tax parcel 501 TAC 1, TAC 24 Alpha. Consisting of approximately .968 acres. The property is zoned General Business District B3 with proffers, and the request is to amend the proffers accepted with the 2001 rezoning action. This property is designated as business commercial on the future land use map of 2013 Christiansburg Comprehensive Plan. The staff has anything they want to share with the commission?
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
The purpose of this request before you is to amend the proffers from the 2001 rezoning action on this property to remove the requirement for screening trees. There are currently 2 proffers. The first is about the residential house that is south of that blue stripe property. The second proffer that exists is in regards to evergreen screening trees that were to be planted along the eastern property line and the southern property line. In 2024, the town received a business occupancy application for a mower repair shop at this address. During a site visit, it was determined that the site was out of compliance with those existing proffers as the required trees had been removed. The business owner had been told by staff to stop operating until the property is in compliance and a business license is issued. So as part of coming into compliance, they have come before you to ask that that screening requirement be eliminated from the rezoning action. And what staff recommends is that you may wish to consider whether the screening should be required for by right uses in the B3 district at this location. The original proffers were brought before Planning Commission and Town Council when there was a more intensive use planned on that property, which was, I believe it was excavation equipment of some sort. It was larger equipment, contractor equipment. And that use is no longer on this property. So it would be appropriate to look at your by right uses in B3 and see if the screening is appropriate for those uses. And staff is available for any questions.
So that was done under a conditional use permit?
So yes, with the original rezoning, there was a rezoning and there was a conditional use permit for that contractor storage. Both listed the screening trees as a requirement. The rezoning did, and then there was a larger list of conditions on the conditional use permit, and it echoed that screening tree requirement.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so now at this point, thank you very much. At this point, we'll open the floor up to any of the town residents that have any input they want to discuss, so feel free to step to the podium. You have 5 minutes. And state your name and address.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
My name is Barbara Martin. I am representing LZM BAM Incorporated.
Can you state your address, please?
My residence address is 2850 Roanoke Street, which is back behind the 2886 that we're talking about tonight. Okay. My husband and I own the LLC. We have owned various rental properties on and off for a lot of years now. And when one would come available that joined our land that we have, our residence is on like about 37, 38 acres of property back between Roanoke Street and the interstate. So over the years, at different times, we have acquired some properties. And I guess the first one was the 2940. Do you have the parcel information there that you can look these up and kind of, as I talk about these, know where I'm talking about? The 2940 Roanoke Street, we bought that back probably about the time, we built our house back at 2850 in 1997. We purchased this house a year before that. And then we purchased the land that we're living on, within that year. And we have always used it as a rental house. And I will say, first of all, I will say I'm speaking tonight for our LLC because, Larry in the past, this was his business. He had a corporation that he operated this business out of, and he used this. I was not involved back in 2001 when this was done. We were married, but this was his business. So, unfortunately, due to health problems, Larry was diagnosed with vascular dementia 3 years ago. So I have been trying to continue to operate our LLC, our rental properties, and maintain everything and keep everything going. So when we bought that property, you can see on the map back here where we're at, the 2940 is right there on the road. And we actually, the property that the lot is on that we're talking about tonight was actually a part of that 2940 when we purchased it. And we cordoned off that acre there for his business. And also at that time, the little house at 2950 that sits across from where the business is located, and they share the same driveway. That belonged to an elderly lady by the name of Geneva Adams. And she passed away in 2009, and we purchased that house as well. So we now, other than the little white church that sits down over the hill, we own, all of the surrounding property except the storage buildings that are up on the bank from where the shop is located. And try to use this. I might have to ask for Devin's help. Where'd it go? I'm going to show you, I hope to show you. What do I need to push first? Okay.
I think it's just the left and right buttons on there.
Okay.
Can help you if you can.
Here or there? Where would I?
Either one.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. All right, let me go back. Well,
Oh, it's starting a slideshow.
yeah, really.
I didn't know you could do that.
Well,
Slideshow.
you will bear with me, please, till we get back to where I want to be. And you may need to help me, I'm not sure. I want to get to the first one. I've been using these arrows, but
Let's
Oh, well, it's, I want the one, not that one. Oh, that one. That, well, that's one of them. But no, there's another one before that one. This was the house that we bought from Ms. Adams. And I don't know if you can see from that, it's kind of dark. But where we were required to plant the trees, if you will look, you can see where those trees actually grew into that house. The roof and the siding. We actually had to replace the roof and the siding on that house because of the sap and just the damage from the trees had damaged that house, and we actually had to replace them and put new siding on the house and a new roof on it. So, you know, these trees, of course, they start out small, but I kind of compare them to Jack and the Beanstalk. You know, they just kept growing and growing and growing and growing out and up, and they were just massive. So Larry, you know, well, we had to do what we did to this house. We had to cut those trees down right there, even to get to it to do that. And I don't know, I don't guess he probably even thought about the process of the zoning stuff and the proffers and all of that stuff. Do you have that little thing, or do I have it now? I have it. If you can go to the next one. Well, the other way, go back the other way. This is what it looks like without the trees here. Now, that's the house. We've resided it with a gray siding. The trees were right up against that house. You can go to the next one. You know, this is damage that it did to that house. And you can see the trees have already been cut down, which we had to do to even work on the house. So at some point after that, you know, there were other trees. There were trees between, if you want to know. Okay. I don't know if you can see the stumps on the trees on the back. The metal building is the back of the shop. And this shop has an office and 4 garage bays. You can see those trees that were planted there. And they were cut down more recently, I think, weren't they? Because y'all helped with some of that. But they had roots that were going, there's a septic system. We're not on town water there. We're on town water, but not town sewer. And we have a septic system behind the building. So these trees have become so big and the roots were growing into, and the fear of growing into the septic system there. So we cut those down too. And I guess, you know, the bottom line is, and you might, if you want to, I'll just show you these other pictures while we're here if you want to look at the rest of them. The little brick thing there is a garage that goes with 2940. This is what the shop and the lot looks like when it's empty. That's what it looked like after I cleaned it up after Larry was no longer able to work. This is like the kind of things that are on it right now. You know, some things for lawn care and lawn mowing, landscaping kind of stuff, just some small stuff. Before, when Larry had it, he had like an asphalt tanker there. He had 2 septic tank pumper trucks. There was a 53-foot trailer that went behind a tractor trailer. You know, there were big excavating things. And when Larry and JC, his nephew JC, Martin, decided he wanted to do his own thing and go bigger in 2010. So when he did that, a lot of the big excavation equipment went away. And Larry just had like a mini excavator and a mini skid steer, small stuff. Now the tankers and some of that other stuff was there until I cleaned it up 2024, I guess. But they're all gone now, all of that stuff. There were trailers there, you know, that were parked there. There were just a lot of things that, you know, you might understand why, you know, you wanted some kind of screening barrier. But as it now stands, you know, we own the property behind. The only thing we don't own that joins it is those storage buildings. And I'm not, they're Bolt, is that, who owns those, Bolt? Bolt Storage. And I don't know if they're supposed to have trees or not up there. But anyway, they don't. we own all the property around there, and we don't want the screening trees there because of the problems they caused in the past. And we don't really think that we need any kind of screening there because it's off the road. If you'll, yeah, this is what you see when you're on the main road at Roanoke Street. If you're driving down Roanoke Street, the driveway to the little gray house, the shop is right there, and then the brick house and garage we own is in front of it. So you barely even know it's there. You know, most people say, I didn't even know that was back there. So I don't think it's creating any kind of nuisance or anything that's ugly for the public to see as they go up and down Roanoke Street. We don't want to have to deal with the trees or really any kind of screening. Don't think it's necessary with what I want, the business that we want to have there. And I even have Raheem Gray, he lives in the little gray house. And he can speak to the fact, I've talked to him, he can speak to the fact that he doesn't want the trees beside his house that he's lived in. You've lived there, what, 3 years now, I guess? And the guy that lives in the brick house, spoke to him yesterday, and Corey was with me and can attest. He said, are you kidding? You know, I don't want those trees there. When those trees are there, people have to try to mow around them, clean up around them. They're just a nuisance. And I think anything that you would put there, you'd have to weed eat around, and I just think it's an unnecessary thing for where the building is located, the kind of business. I have no intention. You know, I'm trying to keep things going with Larry in the position that he's in now. And I think these guys can attest that I take very good care of the properties. I've cleaned up, done a lot of remodeling inside. We pretty much remodeled the whole inside of that brick house. You can see the difference in the little gray house. Take care. I take very good care. We take very good care of the property. And I don't think any of it is a nuisance to anyone to see. So I just am asking, basically, I guess, that you agree to remove that proffer or change that proffer to say that we don't need anything there. I don't know what the proper procedure for that is, but see if there's anything else. I think that's probably the gist of everything. You said I only had 5 minutes. I've probably used those. So does anyone have any questions or want to see anything else, or can I ask any?
Well, what we'll do is we'll circle back because we'll allow other citizens to speak their mind. And then when we come back to this, we may have some questions
And
that we might
Corey,
be willing to answer.
You know, you may want to speak to him. He is the individual that wants to have the small engine business there in the shop. So, you know, if you want to ask him any questions, he's here for that. Mike back here has done a lot of my remodeling and helped keep things up and keep things clean, take care of things. So they're just kind of there to attest that, you know, we do take care of the property. We're concerned. We don't want property that's run down. We try to keep it up. Spent quite a bit of money, actually, on those pieces of property doing that. So I'm just asking that, I guess, to remove that proffer or change it to not needing screening or the trees or the screening there. I don't know what the proper language for that would be. And I will tell you too, why it's taken so long to get this here. I actually started on this over a year ago. You can attest to that. And I thought, I don't want to handle that. I'm not done any of this stuff. I'll take it to Steve Simonis and let him do it. And I took it to Steve, and he said, oh, yeah, that's easy, that's simple. I'll run up here one day at lunchtime and file the application, take a check. But for some reason or another, you know, we'd exchange emails here and there, and questions and answers. And I guess he just had other bigger things. It just kept lingering on and on and on. So it's not that I haven't been trying to get this resolved for 2 years. It was like, I had it cleaned up, I think, July or August of 24, 25, yeah. And it was like September. I tried to start this process to get these, so it's not like we've been trying to not do what's necessary here. So I got to the point, it's like, okay, I'll just try to do this myself and see what we can do. So I appreciate your time and your consideration of this. And like I say, if you have any questions, then feel free to ask.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, appreciate it. Anybody else has any comments? And please remember to state your name and address.
My name is Michael Goss, 235 Economy Street, Christiansburg. Like I said, I have a home repair business. Can you go back to the picture of the, I guess it's the GIS picture? Yeah, that one. You may be wondering why we still have a septic on both houses and the building. The septic, the town has septic, town sewer from here and from here. This way going that way, this way going that way. This section complete right here, there's no town sewer.
And even
At
for
all.
our personal residence.
So, you know, it's not like we could do away with the septic tank and the field lines, so, that, we looked into that, but then we discovered that there is no town sewer available there, so, and like I said, everything on that building is, you know, when you look from the street, you see the back of the building, and it's not ugly, it's a pretty good looking building, and, we just think that, we don't think the trees would be necessary to put up through there, but,
A lot of expense and
yeah, but thank y'all.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.
Hey there, my name is Travis Dory, 114 Scattergood. The original proffers are from 2001, is that right? That's a long time ago. If you could have seen the hair I had in 2001. I encourage you to move this forward with approval. I think this obviously makes sense. I will say that there are missing parts of the Town Code 4211A, 2, and 3 that I believe that staff may be able to help with if they're directed by, I don't know, a town council member or something, to help bring that into compliance. And once that's done, I do encourage you to go forward with this. I think it makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Anybody has anything else they want to add?
Corey Songer, live at 10 Mountaintop Drive, Christiansburg. I'm the guy that actually probably made all this accidentally happen interjectedly, but I applied for a business license for said property that we were talking about, not knowing what it was going to involve into that, but this has been going on a year and a half. I applied for a business license, didn't hear back from the town, come checked on it, was like, what's going on? They lost my paperwork at one point or another. That's a whole different story. But it's been going on a year and a half trying to get this done so I can even apply for a business license and jump through a mungus of hoops trying to get this done. But trying to get these trees taken care of and so I can move on with the process of doing my business license, doing everything correctly by y'all to get this done so I can have a business in town of Christopher, so I feed my family and stuff would be nice. So I do not want the trees. I think they're a nuisance. Also, on top of that, it's a metal building. Pine trees ain't good on a metal building. Also, the way this is set up and designed, the way this building is laid out, it's not like it's a building that you're driving by, seeing garage doors open, seeing what's being worked on. It's kind of the way that building was put in place. It's the back of the building is facing towards the main road. So it's not like you're watching somebody work on a vehicle or anything in there, or lawnmower or whatever. I think the tree should not be put back. Appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you. All right, anybody else has anything they want to add?
Good evening. My name is Raheem Gray, and I live in the 2950 Roanoke Street to the right. And also just want to kind of add that I don't really think the trees would need to be there. And before those trees behind their business got cut down, when we had bad weather, I kind of noticed that they're kind of leaning and things like that, which is kind of scary because I would hate for that to fall on their building and all the money that would have to go into that. And so also my other concern is like we see them all the time, and they don't bother us at all. And we never really see them working on anything. And also I have kids too, so those trees would worry me as well with weather. They may fall down or anything else. So I just feel like kind of what they were saying, I don't see them on the main road, and they don't bother us while we're there, and we don't bother them, and it's pretty quiet. And I just feel like there's no need for them.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anybody has anything else? All right, so we will close the public hearing portion of this. We will circle back as commissioners, and we'll have the discussions following, well, as we go through the 4B, which is a conditional use permit. Request by Rockstep Christiansburg LLC, property owner, to allow operation for the carnival from March 26th through April 5th on a property located at 782 New River Road Northwest, tax parcel 435, TAC A, TAC 41, parcel ID 007741, zone General Business District B3. This property is designated as business commercial in the future land use map of the 2013 Christiansburg Comprehensive Plan. Staff, anything you want to share with the commission?
Yes, thank you, commissioners. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to allow a carnival from March 26, 2026 to April 5th, 2026. Their setup dates are March 22nd to April 8th. The earliest setup date does precede the town council action date of March 24th, 2026. The carnival will not be permitted to operate without town council approval. The applicant typically requests the CUP each year, and there have been no reported issues in previous years. The applicant states the location for the carnival, as it has been in the past, will be in the large parking area to the south of the Belk store near the intersection of Shoppers Way and New River Road. This is the same location and layout as last year's approval, and a preliminary ride list has been included with the application materials, as well as that site map. Last year, the request was approved with a list of 15 conditions that were provided to you in your packet. The one change that you may wish to consider is revising condition number 15, which is about the period of validity of this approval. Right now, number 15 reads, "This permit shall only be valid during March and April of 2026. That has been adjusted from last year's by just changing the year to 2026. You may wish to, as has been brought up in previous years, kind of extend this approval so they don't have to come back every year for the same approval. It's been the same company running the carnival. We haven't had any problems. They've remained compliant throughout all of these years of running this carnival. So you may wish to change number 15. There was some draft wording provided to you that I can read. The sample condition language is, "This conditional use permit shall be valid for a period of some number of years, maybe 3 or 5 years, as an example, with a maximum of some number of operational days each year." that would keep them from just setting up any carnival any day throughout the year. The applicant shall comply with all conditions and provide staff with proposed dates of operation, a minimum of 30 days before setup. And that's so we can make sure that they have all of their bonding and all of that in place with plenty of time before the proposed setup dates. One additional item that was not included in the staff report that you may wish to consider is that you make if you were to go to this multi-year approval, is to make sure that the CUP is not transferable. So that you would make sure that it is that same applicant, that it wouldn't be transferable to a different carnival operator, because we would want to see them potentially and vet them, which is the purpose of the CUP in the first place. And staff is available to answer any questions.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you. All right, at this point, we'll open up for any public comments regarding this action item.
Hey again. Can we go to page, I think it's 26 or 27 of where their application is? I think it's the one page after that. Right there. This is incomplete, and I know that if it were somewhere else that were lower traffic or something, maybe it'd be okay to overlook. But the traffic impact analysis regulations, 24 VAC 315560, that does require, the C as in Charlie, does require trip generation be provided here. So the data for this, for the assertion that traffic impact analysis is not required, even if this was somewhere where there was no traffic, they would still have to show the trip generation data and analysis for this to be considered in compliance with that VDOT standard. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, any other comments on 4B? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go, the public comments are closed at this point, so we will circle back to 4A, discuss the public, the commissioners will have a discussion based on the topic 4A, and I open up for the commissioners. Any questions, comments? Any input from the team?
I'll start off. I'll be honest, I looked at this and didn't know all the facts that came out today, and I was just wondering why we wouldn't want to follow through and keep the trees there, because back in 2001, it was a good idea. I thought, well, it's probably still a good idea now. But my mind's changed on that. I think kudos to all you guys. You've done an excellent job on cleaning up the property. The business that's there now is quite different from what was originally presented. The improvements that you guys have made to the houses, to the area, make perfect sense, and that's the kind of people we want to be having business with in the town of Christiansburg. So to me, it was very informative and pretty straightforward, and I appreciate all the work that you guys have done.
Thank you, Will. Anybody have any other comments?
I'll go. I'm a huge lover of trees, so it just about kills me to say this, but I agree. I think that it's no longer needed. The proffer is no longer needed. I think you guys have it under control. We don't need to be involved.
You know, I'll echo the same thing. When I first read this, like you, Hill, I was like, well, why wouldn't we keep the trees? You know, previously they were required. So, but yeah, my mind's changed. So,
Because I know a lot of times we look at trees as, being buffers, but the comments that we've heard from the residents and the people who are being affected by this, it definitely changed a lot. I'm pretty sure it changed a few people's minds up here. So thanks for coming out here and letting us know what wasn't so obvious to us as far as what you are experiencing with the damages and things.
I do have one question for staff. The septic, or not the septic lines, the sewer lines, where they've described where it goes so far, stops, and then picks up again. Is there any future plans in Christiansburg to connect the two sewer lines?
I don't know if there are any plans for that area.
Not that it affects my opinion on what's going on today,
Right.
but I would request that maybe staff look into that for the residents to, if there's any future use or maybe encourage it. So, because it makes sense to me.
Is that common at all in that area, for it to have a blank space like that?
Yes, along the, I guess, eastern Roanoke Street corridor, it is common to have areas that aren't just currently served by town sewer. Some reasons include the topography of the area.
Okay.
Got it.
And I'm going to be on the safe side here and just go ahead and disclose. Pursuant to Virginia Code, Section 2.2-3112, Section B1, and 2.2-3115, Section H, I'm declaring that I am a member of one of three or more businesses that may be affected by agenda items 4A and B. As an owner of an electrical and electronic security contractor, I am able to participate in the discussion and voting on this matter fairly, objectively, and in the public interest. Thank you.
Any other comments? Do we have do we have a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to go ahead and approve the removal of the proffer of having trees.
Proffer number 2, right?
Yes.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Staff, you want?
Commissioner Day,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Lyman,
Aye.
Commissioner Scary,
Aye.
Commissioner Sowers,
Aye.
Vice Chairperson Clark.
Aye. Motion is passed. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. So the public hearing for the town council will be March 10th. That will be discussed during that meeting, so feel free to attend that meeting and be able to voice your opinions there. And the town council will definitely, because what the planning commission does is we make a recommendation to town council. But to show publics, to make sure that you're voicing your opinions and your thoughts on the matter, please attend that meeting.
I'd like to say one thing. I want to say that, once I decided I needed to do this myself, that, Retta and Devin and that office, I want to compliment them and thank them for, their smiles and their help and their advice and everything that they've done to help me move this along since I had not done anything like this before. I compliment them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, ladies. Good job.
Okay, so at this point, if we're just gonna discuss the carnival, the 4B, you're welcome to stay for the remainder. If not, you can have a good evening. All right, thank you.
I guess I'll start it off again and direct it to staff. Trip information that's missing, is that a showstopper at this point? Required for us to take a vote tonight?
So that would be left up to the commission to decide whether that's a showstopper. For what I would call smaller applications like this is a temporary use with expected minimal impacts. We have in the past received what appears to be an incomplete form for the traffic impact. determination of need. But yeah, it is up to you whether that would be considered a showstopper for you.
So, a follow-up question. In the past CUPs, was it included?
For the carnival, this is exactly what has come before commission and council in the past.
So it's passed before without this information on it?
Correct.
Okay.
I went through every previous year that I had access to, and every previous year looked like this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is
Thank
New River Road a town road?
No.
Okay.
That's a private road, believe owned by the mall.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other thoughts or comments? I know that we were talking about I know we've been discussing it for years as far as a 3-year, multiple year.
Right, okay.
My thoughts on this, what I would say every 3 years would definitely make sense.
Yeah,
My only concern there is we don't know the structure of the ownership. So they can buy part of an ownership, or they can buy, I'm not an attorney by any means, but when we say that it's got to be the same applicant, I'm not sure how much of the ownership they could buy and still consider, do you see what I'm saying on this whole thing? We don't know how the partnership or the company is set up that is actually applying. And my concern is if somebody came in and bought part of that company, what their influence on things would be. In other words, maybe if we said it, the applicant had to stay the same, not only stay the same, but the structures had to stay the same, or something along those lines. That would be my only concern, is if someone came in and, or they had a different manager, or, there could be a whole lot of things that we don't have control over.
I think that limiting the maximum number of operational days as suggested, I think that helps out tremendously in that. Being that the dates are set, and we've seen this, it's what, a week, about a little more than a week?
Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts. I think that's not much of a.
I think I have an answer to, and I think we've done this before, is set up an annual review of the CPU. So after a year, we review the CPU, not necessarily submit a new CPU, but go through it and make sure that they're holding up to everything they said, and maybe even look into the ownership to the extent that everything is still the same. And as long as that's the same, then we proceed on. If not, we can always stop the CPU from going forward. It's my understanding.
So that could be an option. Something else, Commissioner Lyman, that you can consider is setting an expectation of general conformance to their recurring plans. That if they're going to deviate from what's been done in prior approved years, that they would have to come before you, or that they may be required to come
That's
before
good.
you.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different options you have for approaching that concern.
And we can add those conditions to our motion, correct? If somebody makes a motion, we can add that very request.
Great.
So we can definitely make sure we capture that.
And I would base that on like the total layout. I wouldn't necessarily, general. Just we don't want to limit the amount of what's internal in their operations. Like if they have different rides or different vendors, we want to make sure that we don't step into that.
Right.
And I have a staff question. If, let's hypothetical here, but let's say that, year number 2, the carnival is hypothetically operating after 11 p.m. in violation of one of the conditions. There is a mechanism for the town to go in and shut the thing down, correct? If they're in gross, I know you're going to do that on the first one, 11:01, see ya. But but as long as there's some sort of mechanism, then I'd be okay with even not requiring the same owner. As long as we limit the number of operational days. So.
In the site plan, we have to have the same site plan. Not a large change from that.
Yeah, like the
Site
same
plan.
place, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any concerns with that.
So as far as the CUP, the limit, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, any,
I like the 3 years.
I like
I
the
think
3
three
years
is, yeah,
personally.
pretty good
I think
consensus
3
on
years
that.
is a pretty good, okay, and for the maximum number of operational days each year, any recommendations on that?
So they need what, 3 days,
said
4
it was
days to get ready
to set up?
for setup? Is it the 22nd?
4 days to set up.
It's the 22nd, yeah.
Yeah, they've asked for like 17, 18 total days.
Okay.
Set up to tear down.
Can you just give them 20 days?
I'm fine with 20 days to,
20 days, will
Is that fair?
in case they run into
Yeah.
issues.
Problems can happen.
Setting up,
Something can break down.
weather.
weather related, yeah.
Yes. So 3 years, so I guess we'll say the conditional use permit shall be valid for a period of 3 years with a maximum of 20 operational days each year,
Each calendar year, I'd say.
each calendar,
Yeah.
yes, each calendar year.
Yep.
And then the CUP is not transferable.
And the CUP is not transferable, so those will be the,
And do we put in, it has to be reviewed annually?
annually.
Are they automatically reviewed, though?
So they can review it before they vote on it.
It would be reviewed by staff whenever they submit for the temporary use of the property, but they wouldn't necessarily come to commission unless you request for the condition for them to come back to you guys.
For them being the carnival company? Yeah, but I think the CUP staff automatically looks at that CUP every year, right? For the 3-year term? You would go out and
We
look at
would.
that?
Yes, we would.
Yeah, so I don't
Okay,
think we need it
all
now.
right, so
So
not
we have
needed.
that- We have that, that first line of defense as far as should something change. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Devin's going to type it up right now, just so you guys can look at the final verbiage before you vote.
Yep.
Little linguistic thing as well for the operational days. Consider if you want to or feel the need to input consecutive days. It'd be
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
for a single day or two, but
Yes.
Good point. Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
Yes, the CUP is not transferable. Okay, so for conditions 15, for 15, just for the recording purposes, the conditional use permit shall be valid for a period of 3 years with a maximum of 20 consecutive operational days each year. The applicant shall comply with all conditions and provide staff with proposed dates of operation a minimum of 30 days before setup. And then number 16 will be the conditional use permit shall be non-transferable.
Do you want to clarify for operational days that includes setup and tear down?
I think that would be, I like that idea to parentheses to include, to include setup and tear down.
That's good.
That's,
Yeah.
that's good. Any other questions or comments? All right. Do I have a motion to approve 4B with the proposed conditions?
I'll make a motion to approve it with the additional conditions entered, 15 and 16.
And striking the existing 15.
Yes.
Yes.
I can second that.
Commissioner Day?
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson?
Aye.
Commissioner Lyman?
Aye.
Commissioner Scary?
Aye.
Commissioner Sowers?
Aye.
Vice Chairperson Clark?
Aye. All right, motion passed.
Fantastic.
All right, so we'll move on to other business. Staff, you have anything to share with the commission?
Since you took action on both items tonight, expect an email canceling the March 2nd Planning Commission meeting. So your next meeting will be the 16th.
Okay. All right,
I like it.
anybody have anything else? All right, I'll call this meeting for February 17th adjourned. Time 7:50. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
There's a solar eclipse on March 2nd.
It's the day before my son's birthday.